Forget formality.
Okay, formality went out the door. Hi, I'm Wendy Fry, and I'm the owner of Curiosity Corner. We're located right here in downtown Lakeview, right by the courthouse, across the street from Wilshire Valley. I guess most people, when I try to tell them where I'm at, they think of the old style closet or the yarn shop. We're right there on the corner. And what we do at Curiosity Corner is we do a lot of consignments. We do a lot of consignments for the local artists and crafters here in town. And we only charge 10%. And when it sells, we pay at the beginning of the month. And we opened up in December, and it was kind of a slow start, picking the snow to open up. Probably not the best business decision, but it gave us a chance to really get all the bugs worked out. And just the last couple of days, our store has grown so much. I'm running out of wall space, so I'm kind of excited about that. Getting ready for the tourists. And we put on a couple of little events. We just had Joni this last Saturday, which was really fun. We had a jewelry class where we had a Mother's Day bracelet made. Kids came in and she sat down with them and taught the class, and they put together a nice little bracelet and wrapped it up. And so I can't wait to hear the feedback on moms like that. And my husband's a gem cutter, so he cuts a lot of stones. Most of you know that, but he just cut this sunstone. He's been doing a lot of cutting jobs and working on abalone, and just recently we submitted some stuff over to the Lions auction, because I guess they're going to be doing a lot for kids for the money of this auction. And I'm a big promoter for kids. I'd like to see a lot of things get involved with kids, because I like to see them get involved in something other than drugs and alcohol. And some kids are really into sports and some kids are not. And it's those ones that are not that we like to capture a little bit. My husband's really good with kids. Between the both of us, we have 8 kids. And I guess at this age, I think they own us. But, and he does a lot with kids when they come in with rocks. They're constantly coming in and asking what this is, and he tries to give them a little something to start on their own collection, and really trying to boost that and keep them involved, keep them busy this summer. I know there's things to do, lots of things to do, but there always seems to be that one or two, if we can get that one or two involved in something. And there's a lot of great artists out there, not just the adults. And I'd like to connect the senior citizens that have these talents that have been forgotten. You know, the crocheting, the tatting, just the painting, the ceramics, or whatever it may be. The guys wood carving. You know, I like to see that. Keep getting involved with that. We're in the right area for it. And putting together things, even just basically sewing. I'm trying to accumulate. I've got 3 now. Some kids' sewing machines, so that I can start a sewing class where the girls can come in and I can teach them from the very beginnings, the vocabulary. So they would be learning spelling and learning the safety of the machine and actually threading the needle, which I still to this day have trouble with. But just getting them started on something and kind of clubs starting. And there was such a great outcome for the lunch and learn on this, and they felt that this could go further, and all of you spoke. There was a lot of great ideas, and they kind of came up to me and said, "Here, Wendy, go for it." Okay, I'll go for it. And there was this list, and okay. Then I've been trying to get a hold of everybody, so that's why I wanted to get this form together. And I'm going to have it where somebody can actually, I'm going to talk to the chamber or the newspaper, see if I can't get something like this downloaded, where somebody can print it off and they couldn't possibly be out there. That is an issue that I found talking to a lot of people, that during the day people work. Like Desi Thornton does county, she would love to be out here, but she works at the hospital. And Wolf owns the shop out there, he can't shut down. get out here. And if possible, I know that we're talking about lunches and what have you, but if we can maybe turn it a little bit where we can have a little bit of both, maybe some after hours things, events or luncheons, maybe a dinner here and there, so that everybody can come and everybody can make it at lunchtime and maybe change it up. I encourage you to understand that I'm not just trying to take this over. This is us. I would like everybody to be a part of it. If somebody wants to host a meeting or do something like that, please step in. They just asked me to get it started. And if we grow, which I'm hoping we do, and get more people involved, maybe the treasurer or something like that to get events going. Somebody that maybe knows people at the fairgrounds or has another facility like this, it seems to work out really nice. It's very nice of you to offer this today. Beautiful setup, nice, beautiful day outside. Be nice if we could even maybe have an art thing out here to get started. All these things we can do if we all work together, and that's something very important to me. I've been in a lot of clubs and in organizations where it seems to be one person who's taken over and it causes a lot of issue, and I don't want to see that here. I want to see everybody be involved because it's for us. And any ideas or anything that you come up with, I kind of just was starting to brainstorm last night, even though I've had a couple weeks to think about this and been doing so much stuff. But I think it's important that we have accurate phone numbers and addresses and what we do, and that we can really start this networking together. I'd like to see the money stay in Lakeview. There's, like I said, there was someone who paints on canvas who maybe want a custom frame. And there may be somebody who can do wood crafts, or does these frames. We can keep the money in Lakeview and promote that person. And just network, and maybe, they barter, or however you want to do it. That's plainly up to you. But building a directory that everybody gets, and so you can turn the page. Hey, I know somebody who does metalwork, or I know somebody who does jewelry. And one of the things I've been kind of talking to Joni with, and Desiree about, and a few other people, is I know there's been attempts to do like a wedding type of show, but on a smaller basis we can do something if need be. It doesn't have to be full-blown, but like a directory, who to call for if you're trying to get a wedding. I noticed that there's a lot of people looking for someone to do cakes. So if you know anybody in town that can do wedding cakes and wants to do business, I see that constantly looking for that, and invitations, and like I was saying, we have a candle maker. I also do these bath bombs I started in with my husband, started making it, and our kitchen doesn't look like a kitchen anymore. It looks like a mad scientist who's gone crazy. Smells really good. You go to the one section, it smells like clove. You go over here, it smells like lavender and eucalyptus in the bathroom. And of course, I'm the guinea pig, and so is everybody that I know. But they seem to be going well, and I've been packaging up. I did a thing for Mother's Day at the gathering place. I made 40 of them. He asked me Saturday, so can you do 40 by tomorrow? Yes, I have a problem saying no, and I did it. It worked out. I called Dad, and he was right on the ball. It looks like he's doing a witch's brew in there and putting it together. And these are things that we can do here in town to keep it local, and I'm a very big supporter of keeping it local. There's so many things that we can do here that we have here that we always feel like we have to either go online to find or go out of town. But I think if we put our heads together and our resources, we can really put it together. So that's kind of where I'm at, and enough of my chit-chatting. How about everybody introduce themselves again? I'm sure a lot of us know each other, but really important. And the other thing I was suggesting, if you have ideas, any type of idea, no idea is stupid as far as I'm concerned. I've seen crazier things happen. But put it on the back of here, see. They're really trying to get the buildings historical ones and get them up to par. I would like to have some type of historical days where people will dress in costumes and do skits or something like that. There's just a lot out there, ideas, but we need to get a group forming to get it happening. And the arts are very much a part of it. You know, whether you're a writer, whether you're a painter, whether you're a crafter, or whether you're an organization, you know, everybody can be a part of this. So that's where I'm at. So why don't we just go around the room and start off. Over here, our host today. Lovely wife.
Yes, anyway, I'm Jim and this is Ruth. We've taken over the RV park here. And when we suggested this to Cindy, we were looking for people that would have local stuff that we could sell in our little store down there. We get a lot of people from not only out of state, usually we've had people already from Germany, you know, and Canada, and we get them from all over, and they're looking for local stuff, you know, more than anything else for souvenirs, so we thought we could do that. We're also hosting the Freedom of Flight Festival out here on the 3rd and 4th of July. I think it's 3rd and 4th. At any rate, what they're planning on doing is on the night of the 3rd, so we don't do anything with the 4th out there. We're going to try to put a band out here and maybe a beer garden. But we have 10 acres out here, and a lot of open spaces, and we could do stuff like that if people need it. We also have this building that's available. You know, we'll rent it out to clubs, and if it's like 4-H or something, we can make a deal with them where we use our kitchen and, you know, get people up here that wants Peace Kick out, someone needs some space. You know, we got space, we can do it. And what else?
I think we're hosting the cheerleaders too when I first sleepover.
Yeah, they were talking about coming out here for a sleepover for the cheerleaders, so.
Wow.
But if you are the type that likes to run or ride a bicycle with the Freedom of Flight that they're doing a mini triathlon, where the pilots take off from up there and then they land in the field behind us, and somebody runs probably about a mile, whatever it is, and passes it off to somebody on the bike that comes back on the road. We're looking for people to volunteer to either do that or help time it, or, you know, stuff like that, you know. So, and we're trying to get the cheerleaders out here to do the barbecue that we're planning, you know. And a pancake breakfast like we did last year. We had a pancake breakfast out here to introduce ourselves. We're going to do it again this year. And we had a barbecue for the pilots, but this year we're going to open it up to anybody who wants to come out. So we're trying to get the pilots to mingle with the locals so that we get to know what they do, you know. And it's fun to watch, because sitting out here, you got a front row seat to where they're landing. So. That's us.
Quick question, are you welcoming vendors?
Yeah,
sell their wares or goods?
You know, our daughter's running through the chamber, but I think if we had some vendors that want to come out here, we could probably set them up. You know,
Okay, and that's July
3rd and 4th for that.
3rd and 4th.
And also, Ed's talking about doing a kite day out here where he's got, I think he's going to buy like 100 kites sometime in June, and he's going to invite the kids out here to learn how to fly kites.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
I haven't heard from him lately on it, but that's what we were talking, so, you know, could have but any kind of event like that, we need some space, you know, just give us a call. If it doesn't involve the building, we could probably do it just, you know, just for advertising, if nothing else.
Right.
You know. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you want to use yourself? What? Did you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Ruth.
And she's with me.
I have a numb finger. That.
Oh, no. Sorry.
I'm Larry Johnson. I'm retired. I do watercolors and I teach watercolor. I do some oils and some acrylics. And I was traveling a lot, but not so much anymore. The market is down. A lot of the art clubs are dwindling. And it's kind of like this. You want, 15, 20 people to show up for a class, and you get 6.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's really bothered me, and I've noticed this the last few years, all of my students are retired. There are I've had one teenager in 15 years that has taken an art class.
So here in Lakeview or?
All over. I've taught all over.
Yeah, okay.
And this one teenager happened to be in Coos Bay, and she didn't want to be there, but her mother was in the class. So I think if we could do more to get high school teenagers involved, they'd be more interested in art too. Sure.
Do you still teach? Are you still teaching students?
Once in a while.
Just kids or both?
No, most of them are adults.
Okay. And is there anywhere that you're paintings or display? Where we can see
At
that?
this time, no.
Okay.
I have 3 old ones in hallways,
Okay.
but I have a garage full of like 60.
Okay, so you're in your over
Yeah, we can't get them out there.
I was doing a lot of art festivals all over the Northwest, and as far back as Kansas City, Eastern Maryland, and Salisbury, Maryland, but mostly in the 11 western states. And it got to the point where the only people making money was the promoters.
Yeah.
And they're going to get their, when we first started, we were paying $120 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And now it's around $250 to $300 for a booth space.
And that's a cheap one, by the way.
Yeah.
Some of those art deals are $500, $600. Wow.
Yeah. We did Salem. The last time I did Salem, it was 104 degrees. And on Sunday, I counted the people walking past my booth. There was 18 people all day Sunday. It was so hot. And when we went in to pay our 20%, I wrote a check out for like a couple $100. And I said, well, what's our chance of getting back in here next year? And the guy looked at the check and he said, slim and none. So if you don't give them a big commission, you're not invited back.
Oh, wow.
Well, we had so many arguments and complaints that we got a letter a couple months later saying that they're dropping the 20% commission, but they raised the booth fee to $500 for an inline booth. That means tents on either side of it. $600 for a corner booth. And my philosophy is I need 10,000 people going through a show. It's a 10% rule. With 10,000 people, 1,000 is going to walk by my booth and look in. 10% of that is going to actually come in and look, and 10% of those people are going to be buyers. And I have to sell them. And it's worked out. I need 10,000 people to make a profit. The hours have raised their commissions from 40, 50, 60%.
Oh, wow.
So,
Question. Have you ever thought of doing paintings with backyard florals who does wine tasting and do a class where they have your picture, one of your pictures, and then you show the students the different textures and different techniques to get that, and then they do their own?
well, that's pretty much what I do in the classes.
Okay, okay.
I have a painting that I painted in 2 hours, a small one. And I figured that the students should be able to finish it in a day. And never works.
Yeah, well, I was thinking if you had that class and the wine tasting is like the biggest part of it, everybody else could have tables or whatever and just have an event.
Yeah,
Maybe out here.
I think there's opportunities. I wish that there was more space in businesses to have like a first Friday or a first Saturday, like a lot of the towns have, art galleries and businesses that stay open late,
Yeah.
one day a month, and they bring some artists in. And I was born and raised here, so I know Lakeview pretty well. I don't see a lot of interest.
I think,
I would sign up for it.
I think the biggest problem, like, is just what you're talking about. The price of booths and the price of showing your stuff. Why couldn't my percentage still at 10%? Because it costs money to make it. You're making them most of the time a one-of-a-kind piece. You know, these things you're not mass producing. They're not coming from China. This is an American artist. You know, I think the promoters is a big problem. And if we found a way to keep that cost low so that you can make money, you're right, it's advertising. If you get people out there, I mean, the cost of advertising is not cheap. And if you bring a venue out and supply the area and it's not hurting you or anything like that, it brings notice you're showing your stuff. That's a big thing, and unfortunately, a lot of promoters don't see it like that. They make the money off of you, and remember, there's starving artists out there. And if we could find ways to show the goods or have these shows and be self-sufficient in that sense, find places that will let us, it promotes them. I don't see how it's not a win-win situation. If it means cleaning up, you know, and stuff like that, that's something we have to consider. We may have to, you know, address that. But for the most part, all of us have tables, and all of us, or we can get them, or all of us have ways of advertising. We have the internet, which works great. Not everybody has internet, but we also know how word of mouth, and we know how to pass flyers, and we know how to utilize the newspaper, and we know how to use these things. And that's why, you know, this was a beautiful setup. We didn't know how many people were coming. I was told many, many more, you know, that were coming. For whatever reason, it came up. But just doing that, having an artist of the month, or artist of the week, you know, something, I wouldn't mind doing that outside my shop. It brings people in. I'm not going to charge you. You know, I want to promote you, and that's what it's about. The more you're promoted, the better I do. So how is that a loss for me? You know,
Well,
that's my take on it.
let me kind of tell you about the Lake County Art Group. When I moved back here 5 years ago, you know, kind of a lone wolf, and I found out about the Lake County Art Group was meeting at the Baptist Church. So I went down there, and they had a $5 a year membership. And one of the gals that was running it left, moved out of town. So somebody else took over, and it was a suggestion that we raise the dues to $10 a year, and half the people quit coming.
Right. And that's what happened.
Yeah. And still we were paying the church a monthly fee. And it would end up that bottom line, Carter and myself would be the only guys showing up. And, you know, after a while, I mean, you can call 50 people to come to the meeting, and
You might get fined.
you might get fined.
And that's kind of why I was suggesting possibly not always having the same time all the time. Maybe do a dinner or something. Because like I said, the majority of the people that I talk to, for example, Terry, he's out on the line. He could have done something at night. You know, there was a lot of things. So if we were able to have one of the meetings you know, be a dinner. If you're all willing to do that, that might help other people get to this, because I hate to just shut out someone because someone's not available during the day.
Right.
I think we'd like to have a program specific to somebody, you know, like you were talking about pricing. And I don't know the woman's name, but there's a gal that's a silversmith that's absolutely does beautiful work.
Ricardo,
I think that's
Ricardo Claus?
south of town. She lives south of town someplace.
Oh, no, she lives right in town.
But she lives in town. She
Yeah,
does,
I'm pretty sure that's Ricardo.
she does some silver work. It's absolutely gorgeous,
Mama.
you know. And I'd like to see her work. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
actually,
maybe
we do
work
have
on
one.
something small. And then, of course, I'm familiar with the guy that braids the horse there. And I've seen him work, you know, out at the fair.
Mhm.
And where else was he? He might have been at Sheila's or one of the other art shows that he had put
Are
together.
you talking about Bill Black?
Bill Black.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, there's some amazing talent in Lake County.
Mhm.
I mean, I've been across the United States in a lot of art shows, and I've seen a lot of art. And Lakeview has some phenomenal artists that nobody knows about.
We're in Honolulu.
Yeah, I'm serious about that.
Did we pick a name yet?
No, we're just introducing people.
Okay, my name's Lisa Ackerman. I did grow up in Lakeview, although I left for quite a number of years, and I'm kind of back here, but I'm gone often because I too am a vendor on the road. Although I only do a couple of the art craft kind of things, like Larry was alluded to, I do other events, but I sell hats. As like this, which I'm wearing, I custom shape everything. I won't say I don't carry pre-shaped hats. At a couple of events I do, but for the most part, I custom shape for every customer that comes to my booth. I also make leather hat bands of different sorts. So I do braiding, this is kangaroo.
Nice.
And simple stuff, it's just a buckle, and then stamping. I don't do any carving, that's way too complicated.
Very well made.
Yeah. So, this is my busy season, I'm not gonna be here much between now and October. Yes.
I have a question. Do you ever do beaded hat bands?
No.
Okay. Because I sold them last year, quite a few,
Okay.
and people were really hungry for them.
Just
Just the little beads on elastic.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have not done that. And I'm not going to.
Okay.
This is what I do. I've been a vendor for 18 years, I think I'm coming up to. Full-time 6 years, so I've done a lot of different things. I've had all these different hats, but I'm a seasoned vendor. I know what the world is like out there. Sometimes it's not fun. As far as Lakeview goes, I do have some comments. I will agree with Larry. When it comes to arts of any kind, music or music crafts or any hands-on stuff, Lakeview is very apathetic. Focus here is on athletics. That's no surprise to anyone, which I'm not opposed to athletics. I have 4 siblings, and some of them were phenomenal athletes. So, I mean, it's important to have both. But the arts and the schools have dropped off. Funding goes away for those things. So, you know, what do you do? If Lakeview's going to promote local craftsmen and artists, it's got to be in people's faces. And this is a great building, but I'm telling you, people are not going to stop here. It needs to be downtown on the sidewalk on Main Street. Then you may get some people to stop. But any of these out of the way places, are not gonna see signage that's absolutely humongous to stop at Bell and come in. But if it's on the street, people will stop and see what's going on, at least a percentage.
It's a pretty small percentage. Because, yeah,
You know, it's interesting,
having
town,
worked Saturday markets,
Right.
right here next to Jerry's, where all the tourists may stop in the summer,
Yeah,
even then,
it is.
a
Yeah.
very, very tiny percentage.
That's why I would suggest try putting something, and sometimes right on Main Street.
Mhm.
Because even that one block off, it makes a huge difference.
it would be nice to have, you know, there's a town I used to live in, and every Sunday was Thursday nights or Sunday. It's been 20 years, but it was always known that that was not right. So you always went to this town, and every time that Thursday or Sunday, I forget which, it was an art time, and everybody would have their goods out, and you just knew it, and you kind of have it. Obviously, in the winter, but not gonna happen as well, you have to put it inside, but during the summer, it was neat, and more and more people came out, bands started playing, guitar players, and then you were just walking, and it was just a complete art walk. And people picked up stuff, and picked up their fresh flowers, like a real true farmer's market. The Saturday market seems very little, but I also come from a very big town, but I can see it being bigger if it's known to be, go out to Lakeview on Saturday or Sunday, and it's art day, always art, so have you seen the arts in Lakeview? Have you seen it on this? It's every week, a continuous repetition thing, so that the word gets out and it's known. And, you know, we're always closed up on Sunday, and believe it or not, I actually been getting business on Sunday. It's a hit or miss, but you know, people are coming into town now, and they have nothing to do on Sunday, and, or they don't know what to do after they eat after church, and they want something to do. They don't necessarily want to run home and do laundry. I know I would always look for an excuse not to have to run home and do that, and so, you know, and they want to walk off their lunch, and they want to be able to walk around in town, and if more people are out on a Sunday afternoon, on a nice day, I think that would be great, to be able to walk around and enjoy. And you're absolutely right, you know, but it has to be something that's continuous for it to stick. It can't be a one-time thing. That's, I think, the biggest problem.
Or hit and miss doesn't work either.
Yeah, you have to kind of just always have it on that particular, you know, time.
And in Lakeview, we have maybe 4 good weather months.
Right.
So, you know, June through September, or the middle of May through the middle of September.
And remember, and maybe we can, in the wintertime, we can have it inside a building. I mean, these are all just ideas, whether they're good or not, I'm just throwing them out there. But a continuous thing, and then you build a repetition, and then as the year goes by, oh yeah, I got that last year when I was downtown. I wonder if they're still there. Oh, they're there. And it just keeps repeating itself.
Yeah.
And you know, even hosting an art day over maybe at the high school, and getting kids to know what you do. You know, we used to have assemblies when I was a kid. Why can't we have an art assembly to talk to the school and say, hey, you want to learn something like this? You know, I tried to donate some stuff and get it to the arts and crafts over there, and I know they did the windows during Christmas, but I couldn't get anybody to do this. But I was offering my windows to all the schools that anytime, you know, the side windows, this in the courthouse, anytime a kid wanted to do some art and bring it down, I'll put it in the window. Valentine's Day card contest was great. The Mother's Day card contest I got too, and it was advertised and everything. One of the problems is that sitting down with your kids and doing a homemade thing seemed really difficult for a lot of people. And so I guess I'm gonna have to take it a different way. I'm gonna have to do a workshop.
Where they can drop off.
Where I'm gonna have everything there and they come in, not charge a fee, they can, just have this workshop. And then they can go from there, because that's what I find in a lot of parents, they just, it's hard to find stuff. I know 39ers carry more and more gossip. I'm trying to get to that point right now. I'm trying to build on the local artists and expand. I'm working on business grants to do other things, and it takes time. We start on a small scale on eBay, and then we move from there. But I'd like to see it expand. But, we see all these garage sales, and there's always a massive amount of art stuff, supplies that they just practically give away. I'll gather that and have free days for kids to work on stuff, and I'm sure people would want to be involved with that. There's nothing so great. Those kids that left that day on Saturday, they were so lit up making something for their mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine, yeah. It is, tonight they are having an art, or tomorrow night,
Tomorrow night.
they're having an art display for,
It's LHS Culture Night. It's at the Gathering Place
Yeah.
from 5 to 7. It'll be musical performances, art that's been created in the art class, poetry readings, things of that nature.
yeah. Yeah, but it's free of charge, we'll have, so it's at the Gathering Place, so we'll do what our local kids can do. But,
So that's high school?
Mm-hmm.
That's the high school kids?
Mm-hmm.
yes, yep.
I didn't even hear about
So, I'm
it.
just,
Yeah.
I'm just me and I'm here to learn.
This is my question, who promoted it, and I've never heard of it either.
We received word about it on Monday, so it came together kind of late, but it's being coordinated by the music teacher, Nikki Harris, and the art teacher, Katie Hammond. This is an event that's been held in previous years. It was not held last year, but it's an annual spring event that allows music students and art students a chance to display their work over the course of the year.
And some of the students have their paintings for sale, don't they?
I think some of it, 2 years ago when I covered it, I think some of it was. They had Deborah Ford from Playa, the artist retreat in Summer Lake, come down, and she was the judge for it 2 years ago. I think she'll be doing that again this year. I know it's poetry readings, it's musical performances. Some of it's going to get very avant-garde. I was told jazz and bucket drumming and all sorts of stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
chance for local kids to showcase some of the art that they have been doing.
Thank you.
And there's also some other things that, if I can interject too, the hospital is actively looking for vendors right now for the upcoming Daily Days Health Fair on June 18th. They're looking for people to have booths to display stuff. In the past, they've had a lot of Saturday market people come out for that. And they're actively looking for people to be a part of that.
They may have some tables available
Mhm.
inside the hospital.
Yep. June 5th, Sunday, June 5th, is the Welcome Summer Pool Party that they always hold to officially open the pool. There'll be a 3-hour free swim from 12 to 3, and they usually have Saturday market vendors out for that as well.
At the park.
At the park.
Is that a firm date?
Yes,
Because
Sun.
I saw it was questionable whether it was that Saturday or the following Saturday.
They do it the day after high school graduation because they have to have the lifeguards, the high school kids as lifeguards, and they can't start until they're done with school. So it's the day after graduation, Sunday, June 5th, from 12 to 3.
So I think part of possibly on top of getting this member directory, we should probably keep up with the calendar of all these events to kind of make sure everybody's notified and get time to get their booths and affairs together.
We have a solution to that already. I designed last year a online calendar for LakeCountyExam.com that incorporates the entire county. As I'm sure everyone's dealt with a lot, you attend meetings and everyone suggests, well, what if we hold a fundraiser on this Friday evening? And you have to look at 5 different calendars. Well, is there a sports game happening that night? Is there a hospital meeting? Is there this, that, or the other going on? And it was tough for us from a reporting perspective just to try to keep track where we were all supposed to be. So we took a couple months and designed a calendar that automatically pulls from school calendars and Chamber of Commerce and everything that covers the entire county. And we've had a lot of people already starting to follow it. The great thing is that you can submit your own events for it. So anytime that you have an event, please go to LakeCountyExam.com. There's a little calendar section, and it lists everything. It's geotagged, it'll provide driving directions, it's one button click to share across social media. Trying to make one centralized calendar for the entire county that everyone can utilize. So this meeting was on there, tomorrow's culture night's on there, the Welcome Summer Pool Party's already in there. As soon as we hear about something, it goes in the calendar.
I think also too, for those who are not internet savvy or
Mhm.
don't have access, maybe we should print one out off, it's printable calendar.
Yes, yeah.
And have it readily available, because I have noticed that a lot of people don't want to use email and, if I don't have access and I'm not in areas, I think that's something, I'll try and stay on top of it, print it out to make sure everybody gets it as well, if they don't have access to the internet.
And if you have an event, if you're planning an event, there's a little button right there that says plus add event. And it'll walk you through all the data you can enter in and take you through the whole process. About 2 minutes to enter in an event. Comes straight back to me for approval. I'll add it to the calendar, and we share that not only online, but also that's what we utilize in our print newspaper at the bottom of the front page. We always have an at-a-glance section that lists up the events. That's coming directly from that calendar.
Okay.
So as long as we get stuff entered into our online calendar, we'll do our best to get it into the print version as well.
Okay, good. Anyway, before I forget, my name is Diane Clay. But like I say, I'm not crafty yet, but I'm willing to learn. Crafty?
Yes. Yeah, you are correct.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, and what was your first name, Lisa? Yes. Okay. Ackerman? Yes. Okay. Thank you. I just wrote names down for whatever. For my own sake.
So you don't think what kind of crafts do you want?
Yeah. Pardon me?
What kind of crafts do you want to be doing?
Do I want to be doing? Well, I don't know. Right now I do a little bit of knitting and crocheting at home. And I thought one time about trying to get some different patterns for little pet sweaters and stuff, because a lot of people have pets here.
Yeah, I actually seamstress and I have patterns for making the cloth. It's the costumes,
Mm-hmm.
which I want to do
Yeah,
too.
and they're like, well, you know, just something to do to fill in my empty spaces.
There's a lot of
Because I
things
had a
online.
knitting-
You can get a lot of the knitting ones online.
I don't have a computer.
Well, we can work that.
I can call them, come and feed it.
Yeah, we'll try and work that.
Okay. But yeah, I'm willing to help anybody that needs help too, if you want. And I can put up flyers, you know, or any of that stuff, or whatever we want to do. Okay.
What's your phone number?
She doesn't know that. 4171366.
Wait, I missed something. 417 something.
1366.
Thank you.
And that's my cell phone, so I always have it with me, unless I'm charging it up.
Okay, I'm Linda Greenwood, and I own Quilt Feathers, and I have fabric and yarn and DMC floss and just about anything that needs sewing or craft or, you know. And if it's available to me, I will order it. If I don't have what you need, I do give classes for knitting and crocheting and quilting. The kids groups, if they come in, I give them a discount on anything they need for their project. And I make all kinds of things, and not necessarily with a pattern. I just finished a quilt that I started, and I thought about it for 3 months before I started it, because I didn't have a pattern. I knew what I wanted in the end, I just didn't know how to get it. And I brought it today. I make a lot of things, and the rope bowls, I can't keep them. They just go faster than I can make them. But I have a lot of people coming out of town to get floss because I have every color available. They come from Falls, and I don't know what they do over here, maybe they have friends or family or something, but I have a lot of people from Klamath Falls, I have people from Portland, there's a lady that comes through in the spring and the winter. She goes to Southern California or Arizona, I'm not sure. She goes for my button boxes. I have 4 or 5 of these tins, and I just let anybody go through like thousands of them. And, you know, I don't really charge for them, but everybody pays for them. And the lady from Portland, she comes in, she goes through all my buttons. She has maybe a quart bag over here that she's picked out buttons that she wants. But she brings me 6 quarts, so I have to have all these new pins every time she comes. Because she just gives them to me and then hands me a 20 and leaves. You know, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
And she always gets embroidered cloths too, because she says she can't get all the colors, even in Portland, so. Anyway, my husband has a doctor's appointment, and I know he will lie to the doctor if I'm not there, so I gotta go to the store sometime. Never don't do that.
Thank you for
Nice to see you, Linda. I'm good, but Laura, I will show you this.
Yeah,
Like that. Okay.
Yes.
I've got a lot of things in here, but this is the one I just finished. And it's, you know, it's pretty simple.
It's cute.
It took me 5 months to get it done because I planned it for 3. But I'm also taking care of my daughter that has cancer, so that has taken me out of the shop every afternoon too, so.
Right.
Oh, then
People said they call me at 9 at night. And I'll either be there then or a little later.
Thank you for coming.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you for bringing that.
You dear.
It's important.
It's your turn.
Everybody knows I'm Joni LeClaire, and I make handmade jewelry. I use natural stones, mostly semi-precious stones. And I pair them with the Swarovski crystal. And it makes a unique combination for the jewelry. I also make keychains, and I make sun catchers, and car charms, and just about anything you could think of that you can put a bead on and make. And I work at my home, and some of my stuff, most of my stuff, is on display at Wendy's, at her store. Also at Holloway's, and then I have an invitation to put it here. And then I had another one, and I can't think what it is. Oh, Detail Salon. So, definitely Saturday market, yeah. Saturday market's kind of my meat and potatoes. I love Saturday market, not just selling, but getting out and meeting the community.
Right.
You know, just visiting with people. It's just great.
And she's excellent with children.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
have a few.
excellent. It was so pleasurable. Kids were not bouncing off the ceilings or anything.
No.
They were fully focused.
Well, you talk quiet to them, they will talk quiet back. And they'll stay quiet so they can hear what you're saying. It's funny. And you yell, they'll yell.
I'm Karen Furio, and since the last time we got together a month ago, I've become an at-large member of the board for the Saturday market. So I just want to encourage everyone that one of the major purposes of Saturday market is to provide an atmosphere where local crafters as well as gardeners have a place to sell their wares. And so we're trying to promote that as much as possible. And we're always looking for more crafters because we have a really short garden season.
Yes.
Yeah, expand it out.
When does it start this year?
The maybe next month. The other thing is, I also am a member of the Altar Society for St. Patrick's, and we have a holiday fair, or harvest fair, I'm sorry, in the fall every year, where we invite vendors of crafts to come and sell their wares in anticipation of the Christmas season. And we also have 2 rummage sales a year, perfect opportunity to get all kinds of low-cost fabrics and goodies to make crafts with, recycle them. And then finally, we do have a booth at Saturday Market where members of the Altar Society sell some of the crafts that they make, as well as veggies from their gardens and things like that. And currently we're looking at 2 consignment projects that we'd like to do for our church, for the altar. We'd like to have some candlesticks made and a processional cross. And would really like to utilize the skills of local craftsmen to do that.
Do you have anybody to do it?
Not yet, no, I haven't actually put together the prospectus, just exactly what we want, but kind of what we want, the guidelines. But I'm going to say exactly, because one of the artists tell us what they can do and use their artistic talent. I haven't actually put that call out, but
I'd say
Thank you
it
for
would
this.
be among titles.
I kind of have.
Isn't that
That's
the
what I
way
told
it
there.
is? Do you know the next Saturday night meeting? Did it?
Next Thursday at noon, the chamber is the next Saturday market board meeting. Members meeting.
Okay.
So my question, because I have to go get a shop open, I have a question on, does anybody want to, do we want to have, where do you want to have the next meeting? Do you want to have it here? Do you want to have us here? Do you want to go somewhere else? When do you want to have the meeting? Or should how do you guys want to do this?
Okay, let's try the evening and see how it goes.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do need to come up with a name, folks, since
We need a name.
Why do we need any?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
and you had something in the paper that was a good start. and something
Outback
that
Artists
was-
Association was kind of the loose name that I was using because you didn't have an official name. I wanted it to be beyond just Lakeview because there are a lot of artists
Yeah,
all over the county that would be interested in something like this. I know quite a few up in Silver Lake that would be fascinated to be a part of this. There's also other groups that could potentially be involved. Desert Arts Theater, if you've talked with Erica Bray and Clint Rhea at all, they've worked actively with a lot of kids locally. They've opined to me in interviews about how much they'd love to get involved in costumes and makeup for kids, since you mentioned that earlier. One of the things that there's been preliminary talks about is the Mile High Striders Running Club. Every month they hold outdoor fun runs. October they hold a costume treasure hunt that's Halloween themed, and so we were talking about possibly having Desert Arts Theater do zombies as a zombie chase for the run to try to get get some arts involved in it at the same time, get costumes and makeup and get actors out on various stations around the course or something like that.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I had three boys that's all I need that teenagers for.
So what did you call it?
Desert Arts Theater, it's a local acting troupe. 2 actors from Los Angeles moved here a couple of years ago, and they put on several plays for the community, actively involve kids in it, and during spring break each year they hold a kids arts camp. Just last month they did their own Lakeview version of the Broadway performance of Stomp at Daly Middle School. So they hold a week-long camp of teaching drama and arts and drumming and stuff like that.
I'll tell you what, why don't we all kind of brainstorm and come up with some ideas for a name? Maybe write down back sheets, and I can email everybody, and maybe we can find out what we want to call it,
Okay.
and go from there and see about what we want to do for the next meeting. I have all your phone And those that couldn't make it here for whatever reason, I'm gonna contact them. And I am known to walk right up to their door and hand them one of these papers.
Give them the deadlines.
If you change times, let me know because I have it in our online calendar now that these
Okay.
meetings take place every second Thursday of the month at noon.
We didn't know if we were welcome back out here or if we needed to go to town or, I don't know if there's a problem with people getting out here. There may be driving issues. That was something that we probably, I was kind of thinking even an issue. Or the other issue is they have 1 hour for lunch and driving, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out, yeah, I would definitely get a hold of you immediately
Okay.
if we can come up with something.
For right now, it's in the calendar as every second Thursday of the month at noon. But I can change that as need be with whatever plans you have.
Well, I think you made a good point, we ought to switch up the times of meetings and people just get more participation from a variety of people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard, especially when you're starting an organization, you want to get a wide variety of people who might be interested in
Yeah.
involved. So I guess I would suggest that we meet at an evening
Okay.
session and,
How do you guys feel about that? A meeting, so the same for a meeting, now we just gotta figure out a place. Do you wanna keep it here? Do you wanna try and get something in town?
Depends on what time it is, because evening, people are gonna wanna have dinner, or we're gonna meet someplace you can order.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that might be the thing, yeah.
The reason why I chose potluck this time is that, one, I wanted everybody to get what they wanted to eat,
Yeah.
because not everybody can eat what was served, even though it was good, everything, but not everybody, wants to eat that, I was trying to change it up so that everybody had,
I think probably that is probably more affordable for some of those who are on fixed income.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah.
I personally wouldn't be obligated to buy something
Yeah.
if you had it over.
That was the other thing too, it's a lot easier for everybody.
Just as long as whoever made chili brings it back.
Yeah.
I don't want it when it's a month old.
That's really good. Yeah, maybe do that.
Oh, that would be my husband. He introduced me to that cinnamon little tree. He's half German and half Irish, and that came from the German side, I guess. No, it's that's what it looks like. It's like cinnamon and sugar and, like I said, my husband's the mad scientist. He comes up with these things.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you for having us.
Mhm.